Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets, welcome back to the 2021 Wild Rift Asia Brawl, brought to you by Trovo.live for all things Wild Rift, events, tournaments, competitive. Go to Trovo.live with a link in the chat. Do not hesitate, do not be shy. Take off your shirt and go. You know, that's what they say. Anyways, we now come to the third match. Serpents versus Killer Gaming. Just look at the team name. You know they're good games. You know they're good teams. You know, the first game ban pick is already underway, so I don't want to take too much time. I want to save all the advertising and stuff for after the game. But I'm going to go ahead and send it over to the caster desk by D2 as well as Excondra.
Yeah, we're getting to the final pairing of the group so far. So after this match, we'll have seen every single team so far, so we can have our extremely biased opinions. Excondra. We're starting off with the bans here. We have Killer Gaming banning Lee Sin and Evelyn, and we have Serpents banning Misfortune and Karagas.
Yeah, I think the bans overall are relatively good. I think oh, that's my son just joining in. He could see what he thought of the draft. Yeah, I think the bans are relatively good. I like the Misfortune bans. I think the Misfortune bans make a lot of sense. You know, I think she's been extremely dominant in the Asia Brawl tournament thus far. So Misfortune getting banned out, I think is you know, perfect for the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It seems like she's always dominating these games, and it takes a while for people to realize, like, maybe we should ban that person. Yeah, so certainly something to be commended here. As we're getting through this draft, we have the Serpents point of view, starting off with the first pick, Lulu. You know I love to see that. Getting with the Wukong with that delicious synergy, that nice engage potential. And also going for the Alistair as well. So Lulu probably going to be in that mid lane here. Lots of front line coming up from Serpents here.
Yeah, so they got the Lulu mid, which is super interesting because it's something that we did see on the first day as well. You know, Lulu just so strong that they believe that her utility and the ability for her to sort of have an impact in the game is just so high that, you know, you put her in the mid lane and she can have that same kind of impact. I'm really keen to see how this plays out. Again, they picked the Malphite into the Camille. It's not the worst matchup in the world. It's not good for Malphite, don't get me wrong, but it's not the worst matchup in the world because as soon as the Camille jumps on you with a hook shot, you just do the ground slam and reduce her attack speed, so it's very difficult for her to trade. I will also say that for the most part, Killer Gaming are quite AD heavy. So like Malphite into AD heavy teams is a field day for him. He scales with armor. He wants to buy armor. So he's going up into, you know, like an Olaf, a Camille, a Jhin. There's quite a lot of AD for him to have to deal with. Plus, Jhin sucks really hard versus tanks. So, like, if you get Malphite into a position where he's got enough armor, then Jin's going to become a bit of a non-factor. And he's gone for the heal barrier lane as well, which is something that I've been playing a lot in solo queue with my duo queue partner. But yeah, this is interesting. The two comps, they're both strong. Olaf is an incredibly strong jungler in general. They've got the Orianna to provide them with that teamfight presence. Jhin has a really big impact in the early games. So Killer Gaming have drafted pretty well, but again, you have a really easy combo to pull off with the Wukong and the Lulu. You know, Wukong, Lulu, Malphite, plenty of hard CC. We just had that discussion, D2, about hard CC being the name of the game in a lot of these Wild Rift factors, where you have loads of it on the Serpents roster.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like we had a kind of an invade attempt here. Nothing really came of it. Never mind. Just kidding. Oh, big knock up here coming out from the side of Serpents. I'm going to go ahead and push them away after Braum goes down immediately. And that is a nice start if you're Serpents and an ill-fated engage or invade, I should say.
They actually had the Malphite on that bottom side. I think they were thinking about a lane swap, but then their hand was forced because the invade came through. So Malphite is going to lose a bit of experience in the top side of the map, but he's not there to win lanes. So Malphite just needs to survive. As long as he doesn't get killed 1v1 by Camille, like his job is done in this game. He's there for his ultimate pretty much exclusively. He's never going to split push versus Camille. He's not designed to win lane versus Camille. You know, he's primarily there to be specifically a We are now loading. Something's loading. I think we've moved
Yeah.
over to KG's point of view. Yeah.
Sea Serpent, the Golden Feet on the Kaisa from Sea Serpents had a bit of an issue there and had to take care of it. Yeah, like you mentioned, going back over to the Killer Gaming side of things, taking a look at Take's perspective. Unfortunately, I went to look at the blurry stream because my stream is somehow behind. I've refreshed it like 5 times, but okay, we're gonna have to do this.
I'm just about on time with the KG stream, so it's not very interesting right now. I mean, he's just leg sweeping the Malphite in lane. somehow behind on experience, despite Malphite getting to lane quicker. But hey, he's just leg sweeping the Malphite. It's not that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that these are very highly ranked players, obviously they're just freezing the lane, but it just looks like an Iron v Iron match where like, what does this button do? And there's like randomly pressing it at certain intervals. But you're gonna see the Camille obviously clean up here, but like you mentioned, you don't want to be falling behind as a Camille versus the Malphite, because the Malphite is just gonna be able to dominate these team fights if he gets farmed up enough.
I mean, eventually Camille's going to outscale, so eventually there won't be a problem, and she should be able to eventually outscale. But yeah, she's not designed to win lane versus Malphite. It's not her primary directive. Although I say that there is an engage.
Yeah, she does go for the ult there. He does manage to get away. I believe he used a flash in order to do so. And this game just kind of trudges on. we sometimes had these games, guys, unfortunately, where not a whole lot of interesting invades, not a whole lot of interesting tactics from either side, not really as far as rotations are concerned, and we just have players going back and forth. As I say that, we have the Wukong going on to this. What do you call this? Like the stone camp, the billion stones that pop up.
We call it the Krugs.
The Krugs.
So yeah, I can tell you all the names for the camps if you like, because they're transferred over from League. There's obviously the Gromp, which is the big toad. There's the wolves. There is the Raptors, or the Razorbeaks. We used to call them Raptors. I think they're called Razorbeaks now. The Razorbeaks. And then there's
why do they make it hard? Raptors is so much easier.
I know. We used to call them like the chickens. So the Razorbeaks just used to be called the chickens because they looked a little bit like weird chickens.
I'll take chickens and raptors over Razorbeaks and Gromp or whatever that thing was. In any case, we do finally have some sort of mix up here, as seems like we have Sea Serpents getting ready for potential contest of this Drake, or at least feigning it, as they do rotate over to this top side where the dragon resides, and we're going about our merry way again. No real advantage on either side outside of that first takedown.
Well, you can see both AD carries have picked up the Guardian Angel. It's a bigger spike for the Jhin than it is for the Kai'Sa, but Guardian Angel is just so imperative to these team fights. Like, you can see why it's so important that we have a fight breaking out already. The Infernal has been started up here by C7.
Yeah, getting extremely low, down to 900k health, and there it is, taken by the Wukong, the team that started it all. There is the ult coming out from the Orianna, getting some big damage. There's a wild growth to try to keep him alive. They're able to get out just barely. The Jhin ult pop just to try to get that. They're going to try to be moving forward. Multiple members are extremely low. Surprisingly, the Kai'Sa is the healthiest of the bunch. She even has that GA to her name if she ever does get in trouble. But looks like all members of Sea Serpents are going to be able to get out of that situation with the dragon buff in tow. Wait, hold on. Lagging. Uh-oh. Golden feet. Oh no, this is so sad. No.
Oh no. Oh, are they being respectful? I can't tell.
Oh goodness.
Nope. No, wait,
no,
wait.
No mercy.
No mercy. He lagged. Unfortunately, he lagged and died. I feel so sorry for him, dude. That was some brutal lag.
Yeah, and they actually lost another member too. Wukong does go down. As we're gonna switch over to Killer Gaming's perspective here. Looks like
he's got red ping right now. I'm feeling the pain for Golden Feet. He's having a rough time of it.
Yeah, it wasn't even just the red ping too. He completely lagged out for a solid 10-15 seconds there, and that's especially when you're right in front of your turret. It's gonna be a death almost every single time. Rift Herald spawns. Looks like that's going to be the point of contention coming up soon over in the top side as we take a look at Take's perspective. Looks like he's already taken down this turret, so that's a feather in the cap for their side. Kaiser is going to match on his side as well. I'm going to be held, basically cut off here by the Alistair, as 4 members, as you can see on the mini-map, of Killer Gaming are on that Rift Herald. They do take it in the end for no real trade in response here from Sea Serpents. Looks like an engage might be coming up here. Brawl getting extremely aggressive in the faces, but looks like everyone's going to back off. And we're going to be pacifist now.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad actually for Sea Serpents, because like losing that top turret, losing Kaiser's GA, that's a massive limiting factor in terms of what they can actually do in team fights right now, because GA is such a crucial item for most people, because it just gives you so much team fight presence and so much longevity in some of these more important situations, that actually they kind of have to play safe until that GA comes back up for Cold Feet. I don't know if it's, I think that just losing that kill on the top side, that was a really unfortunately timed disconnect for Cold Feet. And yeah, now they're going to be struggling, I think, for the next few minutes. I think they've got to wait for that GA to come back up. Cold Feet's just got to farm up as much as possible, get the evolution on his Q and his E, and just sort of try and scale up into the late game where you're going to have a lot of power with the Malphite and the Lulu as well. But it's going to be a while before they get there.
Yeah, it seems crazy, but then argument can be made that losing the GA is actually more important than the actual life itself. You may be wondering, well, that's the point of the GA, right? You keep them alive, but it can be so powerful in team fights, especially how you position your champion in the first place. So definitely a double whammy there, losing both that GA and her life in the process. Looks like our next objective on the map is going to be, oh, no, just kidding. I saw some pings on the Drake, but nothing actually happened, it seems like. As a bit
it's
more
coming up in 30 seconds. It's coming up in 30 seconds, so it's going to be the next thing that we look to take. Right now, KG definitely in the driving seat. They have the strong early game of the Olaf, the Orianna scaling up nicely. Their team fight right now is significantly better. The one thing that I think is limiting Sea Serpents is their team fight does rely primarily on the strength of the Kaiser. Now, Kaiser's GA is back up for this fight, but they need to group up for it. And obviously you can see that Take on the Camille is making it very difficult for the Malphite to join the fight, just because Malphite is just a huge team fight champion. So, I mean, Take's just making it very difficult for him to actually join.
Yeah, it looks like we have Camille kind of out on her own. Didn't really get anything done. Not really sure if she even stole the buff in that situation, but they do take her down. So kind of a wasted situation there for Killer Gaming, as they just kind of throw away a life. Trying to hang on to this mid tower is Sea Serpents. Big engage coming in, trying to hold them up. There's a flash in from the Wukong as he pops his ult, has the wild growth to his name as well. Trying to get something happening, but nothing happens in the end. But there's the ult popped here from Jin, and he's able to slay that Alistair. He goes down in a bit of a sloppy situation from both sides, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think what really was the case there is that Take did exactly what he should be doing, and that the Camille is there to create side lane pressure versus the Malphite. That's exactly what Take did. They got a free dragon because of it. I mean, there was nothing that Sea Serpents could do. Like they basically made the decision to take out Take. They didn't think they can contest for the dragon without the Malphite, because Take was kind of keeping the Malphite stuck in lane. I mean, Take's doing a great job showing the power of what a single split pusher can do, especially the likes of Camille with the mobility that she has. Bought so much time for that dragon to be taken with relative ease there by KG, and then obviously the team fight that broke out following without the wombo combo of the Malphite, the Lulu, and the Wukong together. I mean, Wukong was a little bit disjointed, it's separated from the fight. You just saw that unfortunately Sea Serpents not strong enough to take out the full 5v5 right now.
Yeah, I'm actually needing some clarification here as I was going back and forth. Maybe I'm a little bit blind. So when the Camille was taken down, is that when they took the dragon? And then they
They took the dragon as they took the dragon as the Camille was being chased across the map.
Okay, so I was blaming the Camille, but she was actually, it was 300 IQ tactics there as they were able to take the dragon in the situation. So very well done, like you mentioned here from Killer Gaming. Camille doing her job, and the dragon taken down. Looks like there's a lot of pressure being put on here by Killer Gaming, trying to gain vision so that they can more easily take that Baron. We have a ward from Sea Serpents on it, so we know that it's not taken yet, but it certainly could be something to keep in mind going forward.
Notice where Camille is on the map, by the way. If you look at where she is on the minimap right now, she'll always appear in the lane that is furthest away from the next objective that wants to be considered. So right now, the Baron is clearly the next objective that's being at least threatened, or visions being put around. She will continue to put side lane pressure on the lane that is the furthest away from that. It's classic split push tactics. It's really simple. Basically, I create minion wave pressure in the one area that is the furthest away from the objective. Either you come and deal with it, or I take your towers. And that's basically what Camille's doing in this scenario. She's basically saying, okay, I don't care. I'm not going to join the team fight most of the time. I'm literally just going to go to the side lane. And if they want to group up around Baron, if Malphite wants to join the fight, and Malphite is he's an integral part of the team fight for Sea Serpents, if he wants to go and join the fight, I'm going to threaten an inhibitor turret. And I trust my team with a Jhin and Orianna. And this is why I think the Jhin picks like 3,000 IQ. Like, they can just pop their ultimates and like delay the fight around the Baron. Like if KG decide to do Baron, Jhin just opens his ultimate on the Baron pit, and there you go.
Yeah, and we have a huge team fight over on this Baron side lane at the moment. Already one member going down here for Sea Serpents, and more to come as all members are congregating around this area waiting for this GA to pop so they can take out Kai'Sa. They're next looking for the Malphite and still pushing on, potentially taking out Wukong as well. And oh, no, that was just a clone. Very, very nicely done by the Wukong to get away in the end there. But the damage has been dealt. 3 members down. Another turret falls. And now we have Killer Gaming with their foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, and they could probably just go straight for Baron here. They have a mana advantage enough to do so. They might be threatened by a steal, but realistically, Baron should be on the cards. Wukong will come through, and I think I think actually Camille got the red buff here, but she's providing enough of a distraction right now that the Baron is being taken. Wukong is the only one that can really steal this. He flashes over. She's going to get away with her GA as well. That's absolutely disgusting. Hake just... Honestly, he's won one-on-one, but his impact on this game has been immeasurable. There hasn't been many fights in general. We're 6-2. Like, that's a really low kill game, but KG have just played the map. And one could say that the disconnect of the Kai'Sa really was the snowballing factor here. I think it's difficult to say if that's 100% the case, but definitely was a bit of an issue. But nonetheless, KG have dominated from that point forwards and have just played the map so well.
Yeah, it just feels like every team today with Camille has just been using her to the fullest of her abilities, just being completely dominant here. You can see her in a lane on your screen trying to just annoy the Malphite here while the rest of the team pushes down mid. I'm taking a look at Kai'Sa's screen, and she's just getting pushed in that mid lane, all the members here, and she's just having such a hard time with it. This bottom lane tower is going to be going down as well, and just everything's being pushed in on the side of Sea Serpents, just crumbling the walls behind them.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that makes Camille really strong, even versus the Malphite in the late game, is that her second activation of her first ability gives her true damage, and that true damage scales with her AD. And so, therefore, versus the Malphite, you just hit him over and over again with that second activation of your first ability, and he just takes a huge chunk of health damage that even his resistances won't help him deal with. And honestly, KG with this Baron, they've got everything that they wanted and more. Two inhibitor turrets down, the next dragon on the cards, and D2, you've probably been in these games. When you lose inhibitor turrets, it is so hard to come back from. Like, it is so punishing when you lose an inhibitor turret in Wild Rift because it never respawns. So your lane is constantly being shoved in, and that'll be natural pressure that you have to contend with for the rest of the game. Yeah. And those super minions are unrelenting. Like, they will just slap your minions over and over again. And you have to just win some sort of miracle team fight from this point onwards, and then win off the back of a single push to be able to be in a position to win this game. And that's how I feel Sea Serpents are right now. They're going to need some kind of miracle team fight, and I don't think their composition allows for it.
Yeah, I was watching over on the Kai'Sa perspective for a moment there, and there was like a timid attempt at a team fight. It didn't go well at all. Well, speaking of team fight, we have another one engaging right now, as there's just a massive grouping of people over in this. I can't even tell what the heck is going on here. The Wild Growth goes on to the Kai'Sa. She's trying to get as much damage as humanly possible here, but she's getting low. She's going to have her GA pop. Already 2 members of her team have died. There's a third. The Alistair is actually extremely low. He's going to be able to get back to base, but it doesn't matter because the game's about to end as Killer Gaming in dominant fashion take game number 1.
Camille wasn't even in that fight, by the way. That was a 4 versus 5. Camille just jumped over the wall and started attacking the Nexus.
Oh boy.
Wow. I feel bad because honestly, Sea Serpents had a very untimely disconnect there. Like, it was not ideal for them. They disconnected in the top lane and they ended up losing that first tower. So I'm not going to be too hard on Sea Serpents right now because that was just a very, very poor timing. And unfortunately, they